Full Bloom is brought to you in part by the following. Welcome to Full Bloom, the award-winning show that celebrates life. Here's your host, Zita Christian.
Hi everyone, welcome to Full Bloom. I'm Zita Christian. For the second year in a row, Connecticut Magazine has named the Trail of Terror in Wallingford, Connecticut, the #1 outdoor haunted attraction in the state. With us tonight is the founder of the Trail of Terror, Wayne Barneschi, and also with us is the makeup artist, Lou Harmon. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
And our added guest, who is with us here, just to give us a little flavor of what it's like on the Trail of Terror. But let me get some basics first. Wayne, let me start with you.
Okay.
Tell me when, and I think how, you created the Trail of Terror.
Well, many years ago, I think it was 18 years ago, I started doing a home haunt with my brother-in-law, who was 14 at the time. Now he's in his 30s. And we just decorated the front of the house and the back of the house, and people came through. We did that for 3 years. After the third year, people were saying to us, you need to do something for a charity or whatever. And so a few of us just got together and said, let's do it. So a friend of mine had a nice piece of land on Route 5, and he said, we can use that. It was an old building. We thought we were going to be able to use the inside of that house, but we weren't able to, so we did an outdoor haunt, and that's where it all began.
That's how it started? Okay, so is what you have now the Trail of Terror, is it outside? Is it in a field, in a woods? Are there tents? I mean,
all the above.
Okay.
And we have just about everything. We found a great piece of property on the back end of a park, our current location, and this will be our 7th year there. And it's really has a canopy of pine trees. It's beautiful, and it's very dark and very spooky just to walk down the street. It's a dead-end street it's in an industrial zone, so it's perfect. So we can make as much noise as we want. And
nice.
So it's a great setting.
So a couple more basics. When is the trail open?
Weekends in October, starting on the 2nd of October.
Okay, so and it's not daytime though, it's nighttime, correct?
We try to start at 7 o'clock every night.
Okay.
We're
And when do you close?
Well, let's see. We try to get out of there by 2 o'clock every day, but we sell out about an hour and a half, 2 hours after we start. We sell out.
Oh my gosh!
Sometimes after 20 minutes.
Really?
On the really busy nights.
So, but what do you mean sell out? I mean, how? So you can only accommodate a certain number of people a night? Is that the idea?
Right.
Oh, okay.
And when we know the line's getting larger and people are starting to fill in, we know about what time we're going to be able to get out of there that night. So people have to go home, and the actors get tired after 5 or 6 or 7 hours.
So I'm assuming then that you control the number of people who go through. Is that how that works?
Yeah, they go through in
So it's
groups.
kind of like going to see the crown jewels in London, only different.
It's a little different, yes.
Okay. Do people come from beyond Wallingford?
Last year, I think 15 states.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're all over now. Actually, we know of about 5 people that flew in just to see us.
Oh my gosh,
that we heard of
Wayne.
now.
Well, now if you could possibly sell out within 20 minutes, that must mean that people need to get there really early. So, like, how early might they get there?
Usually the line starts forming at around 5. It's about 5:30. We open the gates around 5:30.
And what's about the longest that a person might have to wait?
Well, last year was 6 hours.
6 hours. And people did? They did wait?
They did.
Oh my gosh, people must love to get scared. Which brings me to I think probably the question that I had most in my mind. Why did you do this?
Why am I continuing to do it, or why did I do it to begin with?
Yeah, the continuing. I mean, what's the thrill of being scared?
It's like riding the best way to describe it is like riding a roller coster. They hate it while they're on it, but as soon as they get off, they say, I want to do it again. And I think it's the same.
That would not be me. No.
I'm with you. I don't like roller coasters. But that's what they're...
It's really good.
People come through, and they're screaming and yelling and everything else, and some people are crying as they're going through, but then as soon as you hear them walking, those same people who are crying, as soon as they get off our property and they're safe, somewhat safe, they start talking how much they loved it. So it's, and then some continue to cry. But
Oh, God. So Wayne, how scared do people get?
It depends. Everybody's level is different. The smaller kids sometimes are just oblivious to what's going on, so they don't really care. It's the little older ones, sometimes they get more scared than the younger ones.
So kids, how young kids?
We recommend 10 and over.
10 and over.
But it's parental discretion, because they know their children better than we do, and they have to live with them if they drag them in there, which they do.
Well, what, I mean, I'm not asking you to sort of, well, yeah, I am asking you to give away. What is it that people see or experience when they're in there? I mean, not everything, but give me a couple exampose. I mean, like, do you tap into phobias or something?
Like oh, we definitely tap into as many phobias
those are the
as
easy
we
ones.
can. Those are the easy ones.
Phobia
yes.
scares are easy.
Oh, really?
Well, you stick a spider on the wall and someone has arachnophobia, they're set. You've got them. The hard stuff for actors who, or even if we're building things, is to be able to do a scare that's more complex than that and really work with someone, because they know that you're a person, they know that you are restricted. You know, we don't touch the guests. We're not going to actually hurt them, of course, in any way. But to be able to scare someone with that knowledge that they're completely safe is the real accomplishment, and that's what they want out of us. That's what they're expecting out of us, is to do something that they aren't expecting and that they don't think is going to happen, and really pull it over on them and be able to get that scare. Mm-hmm. But the phobias are easy. You stick a clown with someone with clown phobia, you're set. It's no problem.
Well, I had a little gulp in the throat when you walked into the studio tonight with Chucky's cousin or whoever this is. This is very, very cool. I know that this year, 2009, you have a special exhibit dedicated to Edgar Allan Poe. 200th birthday.
Yes.
And Lou, I understand correctly that you are the actor who is going to portray Poe.
Yes.
Okay, now what are you going to do as Poe for this year?
That's a good question. There's the scene itself, and then there's me, the actor, in the scene. And one of the really great things about working with Wayne and with the Trail is that if you've been there for a while and you've shown that you're dedicated to what you're doing and you're reliable, then you get more responsibility. And so my responsibility is to dress the scene and build it or remodel it as I can to make it work as a scene. So for me, I wanted to showcase the stories that people really thought about and really associate with Poe. So the scene has bits in it or associations in it that are to The Telltale Heart, Mask of the Red Death, Follow the House of Usher, The Black Cat, Ligeia, The Raven, Follow the House of Usher, I said, and Cask of Amontillado. So there's really obvious ones, and then there's more subtle ones that are just set dressings that if somebody really knows their Poe and is really into it, they'll get. And I like that. Because you get one person out of every 10 groups that gets the little in-jokes and the little details, and I can hear them say it, and then I feel really good because I feel like I shared something with that person.
Now, I just want to repeat something that you gentlemen said a moment ago, or Wayne, you had mentioned. As a person is going through the trail, the actors, you don't touch.
Absolutely
and
not.
There's no harm that comes to the person except what the participant creates for him or herself, correct? So, Wayne, let me go back to you a second. Do you have an ambulance or anybody, medical care nearby?
Oh yeah, we have.
Oh, you
we
do?
have several EMTs on site, and we had the Red Cross there for years on site. So if we have any situations come up, oh yeah, we take care of them.
I have seen
quickly.
people, I have not been responsible for this, but I have seen people have panic attacks. And if we know that someone is having that kind of reaction, on the one hand, we feel a little accomplished for that, but on the other hand, we also have a procedure to call security, and they're checked on, and they're given the option to be escorted out at that point, or they're given the option to continue, and most of them continue. They take a breather, and they go on, and they have the best time.
Now, when this is over, when a person goes through, well, how long does it take to go through the trail on average?
About 45 minutes.
About 45 minutes. 45 minutes, oh my gosh. So when they come out, I understand you have some little card or something people fill out?
Yes.
Like a comments or?
Yeah, it's a comment card. Basically, it gives us an idea what they thought. We have each and every scene on there, so people can circle their favorite scene. So we know which scenes are working, which scenes aren't, which are their favorites. And we have a little prize for the best scene for the year.
So
fan favorite.
So what was the best scene last year?
Well, The chainsaw won because he has power tools and it's easy to scare somebody that way. But we had several. Last year we did a Gotham City scene, which was we had Batman was hot last year, the Joker was hot, so we did a scene, and that was a big hit.
Now, does that mean that you won't necessarily do the same scenes this year?
Right. We change about 75% every year.
About 75% is different? Oh, so you would get people coming back, I'm sure.
We have a lot of repeat customers, and you can if you're an actor, you can hear them as they come through, and sometimes they come through just to spoil it for their friends, because they'll say like here's where the scare is, and then we can listen to that and we can change it up for them when they come through. But they know, and they'll recognize when a scene has been changed, because we have major fans that come through.
You know, one of the things that I wanted to mention tonight is one of the reasons that I asked Wayne Barneschi, founder of the Trail of Terror, and Lou Harmon, an actor at the Trail, to be on the show tonight, is because at the Bushnell, and those of you who watch Full Bloom know I work at the Bushnell, we received a grant, a very generous grant from the National Endowment for the Arts in connection with their Big Read program. We chose Edgar Allan Poe as the author we would focus on, and thanks to these gentlemen, we're going to do our kickoff event at the Trail of Terror on October 9, 10, 11. The second weekend that you're open in October. We have lots of things going on in connection with the NEA's Big Read program, including an all-day conference, a poetry slam for middle and high school students, a blood drive where we're asking vampires to, it's time to give back. And Edgar Allan Poe will be there, Dracula will be there. I mean, there's so many things going on where we're able to tie in with what's going on with you guys at the Trail of Terror. So you can check the Bushnell website for more information. You can always email me, and I can put you in touch with Wayne and in touch with Lou. So let me get back here to a couple more questions here about the Trail.
Sure.
You raise money at the Trail. I mean, it's an admission, to get in. And where does the money go?
Well, over the last 14 years, we've given over $500,000 to the Red Cross.
Over $500,000, my gosh.
Yeah, quite a bit. The last 3 years have been the biggest, obviously, but once we got established in the new location, and we pay all our bills,
But it goes to local charities. Okay. And you mentioned something earlier about volunteers. It's all volunteers who work? Oh my gosh. Well, I guess that's why it's only open in October. I mean, people couldn't give up their whole lives.
Right.
So,
some of us would, I think.
Some do.
We have questions a lot about how do I get hired? This is really cool. And we'll say, we're all volunteers. We give all this time ourselves. And then they don't get as excited at that point. But the ones who do stay excited are the ones that we know are going to be great. And then they join us and we love them.
Well, do you need volunteers?
We can always use volunteers, sure.
Okay, so if you're watching and you're thinking this is really cool, you can contact me. I'll put you in touch with Wayne or in touch with Lou, or go to the Trail of Terror yourself and find out what that's all about. Now, Lou, I want to talk with you for a minute here about something specific that you do at the Trail, because I understand that you are a makeup artist and you do the makeup for your own and other actors at the Trail.
I'm one of 4 makeup artists, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And we have some pictures that we're going to show here in just a second. But do you do makeup? Is there makeup involved when you are portraying Edgar Allan Poe?
Yes, I have. Actually, I have different options, and it changes depending on where I'm going to be. At the Trail, the makeup I would do would be more dramatic because we're under low lighting and it needs to read better. And then the makeup that I would be doing in better lighting situations is going to be more subtle. But yes, there's definitely makeup involved.
So do you do it yourself? I mean, do you put your own makeup on yourself?
Yes.
All right. I do want to take a look at some of your pictures, and I thank you, number one, for sending them to us. There was one that was a picture of a dog, and I must tell you, yes, the fireman dog, and I sort of set back when I first saw that, and then I looked at the hands, and I thought, my gosh, that's a person. Right. You have made up a person to look like a dog.
He actually is a real fireman, and this one, and I will only take credit for what I did. I did his arms and matched it up to the prosthetic that he was wearing, and so that was all done in airbrush at the time, and he was really excited about it. And I learned an important lesson, which was in all the fireman gear he had on, he was sweating a lot, and he sweated the makeup right off as soon as I put it on him. So we had to cool him down with alcohol, and then and then put it back on.
You mean alcohol on his skin?
Yeah, alcohol rubs. Yes, alcohol rubs.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, there's another picture, too, and I just want to remind everyone, we are looking at pictures of makeup. This is not real.
That's makeup.
That's makeup. Okay, and this is
and no
an
prosthetics.
open spine.
Yes.
So
I am proud of this one.
Yes.
that is really something.
This is a good friend of mine, and I told him that I wanted to test this design out, and I had this idea for it, and I hadn't seen it done before. And so he came over to the house, and he was very patient, and he got back cramps of having to hold still while I painted on him. And that's all hand painted with no prosthetics, no latex, no nothing. It's just body paint.
Okay, that's not the sort of thing I'm going to find at the Mac counter or Jane Iredale or...
No, that particular brand, which I love, I'm a big fan of this, is called Wolf Brothers Brand Makeup, and I'm more than happy to mention their name because they make an excellent product. Yeah. And it's something that if somebody does want to come to the trail, and we've done this with our actors too, is that any of the makeup artists will sit down and we go over how all this stuff works. We give tutorials and just general information, and some people, jump right on it and love it, and they do their own thing, and then some of them pick up just enough to be able to take care of some details and just a character they might do that night. But we're really happy to teach it, and I've learned from the other makeup artists, and hopefully we share lots of ideas.
Oh my gosh, it's all fascinating. Another picture to look at. This one, these two faces.
Oh, that's me, yeah.
Now, okay, I have to look again, and yes, okay, now I can see it's you.
If you follow the hairline, it makes it more clear.
All right, I can follow that. All right. Now, did you do this yourself, or did someone do this on you?
No, I did that myself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the easiest person to get a hold of, and at the late hours, and nobody else would prefer to sit while I test this stuff out. And so, yeah, I did that one night just to test out another idea, and that was a really popular design that other people have asked me for now after they saw it. And it takes some work, and I actually built recently in my house a custom makeup, three-sided makeup mirror that's on my walls. It's really big so that I can see all the sides of my face. So yeah, this is I did it myself.
And once again, let me just remind the audience, we're looking at pictures of makeup.
Right.
Not real.
Right. I
makeup.
avoid prosthetics too.
Okay. Another picture. This one is, it looks like this muscle man in the gym. What's this all about?
That's my personal trainer, Kenny Wallach, who's an excellent guy, and he knows that I do all this work with the trail, and I showed him the pictures of my work. And actually from that ripped face, the photo that we just saw, he got really excited about that. He thought that was really cool. And I had done another version of it that was closer to the design that you see right now, of mostly of a body rip. And I told him I'd always wanted to do a bigger design. And he said, could you do it on me? And I said, yeah, Kenny, you want me to do that? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so we actually set up at the gym and did this whole makeup on him front and back at the gym. And just everybody watched, and then we took all these photos, and he thought it was just the coolest thing in the world.
So how long did it take to do that?
That one took 3.5 to 4 hours, because it was the first time I had done that detailed of a design over that large of a body area. And since then, other people have requested that, and I've done it more, and so I get a little bit faster when I do it. But that one took quite a while. He actually started to fall asleep on the bench that I had him sitting on a few times, and I had to kind of catch him and wake him back up, because he zenned out for it, which works.
So how does it come off easily?
Yes, as much as I can, I use water-based makeup, and so it comes off instantly with soap and water. You get in the shower, and it looks like Carrie, but you're all done. It comes right off.
Very, very cool. All right, now you did mention that you're one of 4 makeup artists on the trail. Do you all learn from the same place, or do you all come with your own concepts?
We've all come from very different backgrounds, and I have no idea about Skippy and Wally. I can speak for myself, and my partner in makeup, Matt, that when Matt came along, he wanted to learn makeup, and so he paired up with me. And I taught him what I knew, and then from there he went online and he talked to other people, and he learned a lot on his own too. And so now he and I sort of tag team one end of doing makeup, and Skippy and Wally tag team the other end as well. So I don't really know what their backgrounds are for it.
Same thing happened with Skippy, and Skippy was our main makeup guy for a while. And then Wally kind of went under his wing, as Matt did with you. So, and then we have several other people that are under all of them now, trying to also learn it. Because
and I don't want to leave them out, but we have a lot that are coming up and learning really fast, and they're doing really good work.
That is really cool. All right, we have another couple of pictures. This one, this young...
that's the guy with the back rip. That's his front. That's the same guy. That's my friend, and I said, I want to try this metal design that I had in my head, and I've never done it before. So he came over, and this took a good solid 2 hours, and he got back cramps again because he had to hold very still. And this is all done in airbrush, directly just airbrush paint on its own. There's no prosthetics, there's no actual metal on him, there's no shirt on him or anything else. That's direct paint on his skin.
Oh my gosh! And it looks like he's turned into metal, like the metal's growing on him.
You do it right, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh! All right, now let's take a look at the next one. This is the one I call Lizard Man.
Oh, that's me too.
Is it? Oh my gosh.
That design is also from, that design actually I copied from the Wolf Brothers, the guys who make my makeup, and excellent design that they came up with, and the way that you place the mouth in the design hides your mouth in a seam, so it seems to extend the whole face down and seems to 3D the face out, and it's a neat little trick to be able to hide somebody's mouth and make it not look like it's where it is.
So let's stay on that picture for a minute. Where when we're looking at that picture of Lizard Man, where is the actual, like where is your mouth for real?
My lower lip is making the top teeth of the mouth that you see. So the two white teeth directly below the nose are actually my lower lip. So that whole green area above it, which seems to extend out to make the snout, is actually my upper lip and philtrum below the nose. And so it's a neat way to extend out the mouth. And we do a similar design for some of our clowns now too, to give them a nice big grin. We came up with that too.
Oh yeah, I love that nice big grin. All right. What got you interested in horror makeup?
In the makeup, just because when I came to the trail first as a guest with a friend of mine, I came through and I said, this is great. I would really like to be a part of this. And so the next year, I came back as a volunteer, and I was only an actor at that point. And then I just asked, I said, I've always wanted to do this, and could I have a shot at it? And Wayne said, sure, no problem. And so, and he gave me some supplies at that point, and I started learning, and I used an art background that I have from an art school that I dropped out of, and I've put it to good use.
Oh, this is very cool. Now, so did you go back and tell any of your former classmates, show them what you're doing now?
Yes, actually I have. I've shared it with them and some people that I knew that worked there too, and they loved it. They thought it was great.
Very cool. All right, I have the last two here. This one I call, well, I don't know what you call it. I just said man with ripped face.
Oh, that's my zombie conventioneer. I always just think that he was at a convention because he's got a little "my name is" tag on his suit, and something went really, really wrong. But yeah, that's a variation on the rip face too.
Oh, that yeah, and we've been to those conferences. I know we all have, where it's like things don't go quite the way you thought.
Yeah, it gets really rough, really late at night.
Yeah. And then the last one, which really is my favorite because that one frightened me.
Oh, that's my zombie too. I like my zombies.
Yes.
The zombies, that's on my back porch, and yeah, and that was done also very late at night and experimenting with a new design, and I was really concerned that my neighbors were going to call the cops because I was going in and out a lot and looking in my own windows to take photos through the window, and thankfully my neighbors were cool with it, so it was okay. And the stuff that I'm using in my mouth after a while gets really uncomfortable, so it takes some experimentation to figure out what works and what doesn't, but that's not something I do on our actors normally because I don't recommend it.
Well, as we look at this, and it is all makeup. You don't go to morgues or
No, I actually have a pretty weak stomach when it comes to the real stuff. And recently I was doing more research into anatomy and so on, which I'm used to from my art classes, but I got into using some medical textbooks that were showing, actual procedures and so on. And it was really making me queasy after a while. And I like it when it's fake. I can deal with it when it's fake. I can deal with it when it's a movie and fake. But you give it to me real and it just turns me, and I'm not into it at all.
Do you think maybe that's why some people are attracted, to scary pictures and images, because they know it's not real?
It's a way to own the fear, I think, of being able to grasp it and not have to deal with it directly in the nasty, smelly, dangerous way of doing it. And for me, it is a way to kind of deal with something that does make me a little queasy, and then I feel like I've owned it because I've created it in a way that I completely control, and I'm very much empowered by that.
What about you, Wayne? Let me go back a minute. When you were a kid, did you watch scary movies? Did you like them? I mean, did you grow up like, remember the Tales of the Crypt? You might be too young for that, but those, on Friday night, it was those scary movies.
I did. I watched quite a few as a kid. And
I loved them as a kid, the zombies and the mummies, and because I knew they weren't real. But as I got older, and it just seems that the genre itself has gotten so much more sophisticated, and some of the movies, I haven't seen any of the really scary ones. I just simply can't. I'm too susceptible, I think.
There's not too many scary ones out there anymore.
Well, not for you guys, because you know the tricks. In fact, is that something? Do you watch a movie and go, oh, I know how he did that, how they did that?
Oh, yeah.
I tell you something, too, if you've ever studied magic, like prestidigitation and doing it on stage, it kind of kills it after a while because you know how it's done, but you appreciate when it's done well because you don't care how it's done. Going through a haunted house with him or with some of our other actors is the most boring experience in the world, because I've been with them and they point out props that they're like, oh, that's on page 13 of this catalog, of the Morris catalog, and it completely can kill the experience. But at the same time, I appreciate when somebody does another haunted house really well, because I know how hard it is from our end of it to do a good one. And if they can pull something new on any of these guys and on me, then I'm really appreciative of it too.
Have each of you had a favorite scene, over the past years?
That we've done ourselves?
Any of them at the trail?
I think the most successful scene we've had is from the movie The Ring.
Oh, I knew it.
It was a little girl that was in the well, and we make people go down into a well, and there's really no way out, and then the little girl's in the well. Oh. People don't like that, and we can hear them talking about that up the street. The people in the parking lot can hear them talking about that scene.
Good.
So she's
we have a very little bit of time left, and I just want to be sure that I mention to those in the audience, because you watch stuff like this, and it's like, I want to know more, and that is the fact that you're here tonight because the Bushnell received a grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, and we chose Edgar Allan Poe as the artist to focus for their Big Read program, and we're going to be doing our kickoff, the big NEA Big Read kickoff at the Trail of Terror, October 9, 10, and 11 at night. We'll be there late, so you can come in and see all of that. And then on October 23rd, we have the Dead Poet Slam at the Bushnell, and that's featuring middle and high school students. It's all free. A whole bunch of lectures around the state on the Raven. And Lou, I know you're going to be there as Edgar Allan Poe. Those lectures are all free. October 31st, Boo at the Bushnell, which is an all-day conference to explore the evolution of the horror genre, all free. November 3rd, a big blood drive at the Bushnell, and we're going to give books to people, the long as those books last. Dracula's going to be there too. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for being here with us tonight and sharing all of this and bringing your friend here along. Also want to say thank you to my FB crew. And I say this every week. I mean it sincerely. I do know the value of time. Thank you once again for sharing an evening with me. We'll see you next time.
Full Bloom is brought to you in part by the following: